Hi, welcome to Living in the Light. How is everyone? What's going on? It's Friday. I'm so glad I'm back here. I feel like it's been ages since I've been here. And you know that I wasn't around because I had some kind of stomach flu and it just was awful. I have to tell you, it was awful. And I still had to go to my job in the Matrix, but I slept all week. And so here I am. And I'm saying to you, hello, welcome, light beings. I'm Mary Amy, and this is Living in the Light. And I'm all about shifting away darkness, guiding you to your truest potential, and cracking open that beautiful glowing light in your heart. And oh my goodness, let me see if I can make this higher so my head's not getting cut off. How's that? Is that better? So, how is everyone? Today's March 24th in the Matrix. A lot's been going on. Yesterday, they had all these meditations going on across the globe, and I just missed it. So, we're going to do a guided meditation. And you know why? Because when we turn inward, we can connect to a consciousness, and it seems as though it's singular and it's just us. But what ends up happening is we're actually breathing ourselves into a higher consciousness together. And we have more of this collective consciousness going on. So tonight we have some topics like Earth Evolve. I'm going to get into what the Space Force is. I don't know if you've heard about the Space Force. We're going to get into Mothership Jerusalem. We're going to get into a guided meditation. And I kind of want to touch on, before we move into all of that, I want to touch on what's been going on in the world. How is everyone doing tonight? And I'm not going to just focus on the dreams and the intention and your words, because I think we're ready for that. We're already through all of that. I don't have to keep saying it over and over again. But there is a lot of change going on, and maybe you're beginning to release some of the toxic energies you've had, or issues or traumas that you've had throughout your life, and you weren't able to release it until now. And that's because there's been divine energies that are coming onto the earth. I'm going to get into Archangel Michael. And I know Archangel Michael has aided humanity, and that's what Archangel Michael is here to do. Well, let's see. I know that I was not feeling well. I don't know how everyone else was, and maybe part of me not feeling well was the release of all of this, all the toxic energy that was left inside of me from throughout my lifetime, the negativity. And I sense, though, that I kind of have jumped to another timeline. And I have, yes, been working in the Matrix. However, there's been a lot of epiphanies I've had in the last 24 hours. As soon as I started to feel better, I don't know if that happens for you. When you start to feel better, then you start to want to do more. And then, and it's almost like you recover to a better version of you. Out in the Matrix, I don't even want to say the word Matrix anymore. I'm kind of sick of saying it. I know that we have been encountering a lot of conflict. We had some things going on, like let's see, in New York City. I live in New York. And we had this whole Donald Trump's going to be arrested, and that didn't happen. We've been undergoing some of this, the bank issues, which is our financial systems. I've heard a couple of different takes on that. Is it intentionally being done by the evildoers, by the dark forces? Or is it something that the white hats are trying to show us how, I guess, how illegal some of the practices have been in the banking system? And whatever it may be, I always say, well, what is the outcome? And we can change the outcome, and I say, through our thoughts. And so have you been concerned about what's going on with the banks? It looks like this is inevitable. And the other third, part of the second with the part of the evil forces, the dark forces, is that trying to convert us to digital, this globalization. Hey, Craig. Hello, Hope. Well, yes, I hope the suffering's not in vain. Time for later beings. And yeah, exactly. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Oh, my hair is like sticking up. Ooh. And I wonder, they first said Credit Suisse was going to get this bailout, or they were going to get bought. I think it was for $2 billion by USB, and then they backpedaled that. And all the banks? They say all these banks are bankrupt, because if we all ran down to our bank and tried to get our money out, there isn't enough money there because they've loaned it out. There isn't enough. I know even Yellen had said, I heard that she had said, or I heard her say, that the trillions of dollars that we're in debt, we don't have enough to cover that. So there's not enough money out there. But anyway, that's something that's going on in the old earth, and that's collapsing, just like the medical's collapsing, and there's going to be a mob of people chasing Fauci down the street, and he's going to be like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Yes, I was in China, and yes, I did all of that, but I didn't do anything. All right, well, you know what? It's called karma. You're going to have to deal with what you did. And I think that there's those out there that aren't too pleased with him and some other officials and leaders, because there's been so much lawlessness. And that's how we're going to get into Earth Evolve. And so there are con men out there. And you're not children. We're not babies here. We have to wake up to the reality. And the reality has been that there are con men. There's lots of con men. And a con man persuades people to give him or her money, currency, or property by lying to them. They're basically an imposter. And we have been watching, because we base everything on what we see right here. Oh, that's real because we're seeing it with our eyes. However, there's a lot of con men out there. When I was a child, I could say I'm a child because I was really a teenager. I used to go into the city, and I shared that with you. I would go on auditions. Did print model. And back then, you'd walk, this is a personal story, you'd walk on the corner, and there would literally be a man, and he had a cardboard box, and he'd play the shell game, and people would pay money. Now, probably he had a friend there handing him money so that others would participate, but he was a con man. He was trying to trick people out of money, right? And cheat people out of money. So a con man is a person who cheats or tricks someone by gaining their trust and persuading them to believe something that is not true. And the reason I'm bringing this up about a con man, we say, we think of it as someone walking down a dark alley, and it so specifically looks like that cliche, or someone that goes up, tells a fake story. And we see that on some of these television shows now. There are these con men stories, and they cheat people, they con them out of their fortune, or they trick them somehow and persuade them to give them money. Maybe they say, I'm a victim, help me. Well, we have been experiencing this on a grandiose level. Throughout our lives, we have been watching out in the physical reality con men 24/7. Basically, it looks like most of the leaders that we've had in this US of A, the corporation, have been con men. And those that are in the government, con men. They're all a bunch of con men. So we need to acknowledge that and stop being children about it and pretending and looking the other way. Like I always say, are they putting their hand out? It's not easy to get to the top level of anything. Why? Because all the con men are working on exploiting us, trickery, sabotaging our plans for the better of their lives, for wealth. because we've put so much focus on money, money, money. That's all that matters, is this physical stuff. It's a distraction from ourselves. Now, if you felt good about yourself, you wouldn't care so much about what you had. And maybe you'd say, I can share what I have because I'm good. We spoke about materialism a couple of days ago. So someone who exploits others and their confidence, and we are considered the victims, because we kind of are, because there's been this whole cult, this whole secret society, and they've all kind of joined together and they're in cahoots. Wake up, they're in cahoots. As soon as you start to realize and you say, there's those over here, you can spot them if you pay attention. You put on your human lie detector test, and you say, that just doesn't seem right to me. It seems too easy, or it's not turning out how they said it would. You can kind of pick it out. I mean, we're starting to be able to see all of this because we're going down the rabbit holes together. We're kind of unraveling everything. We're revealing all of this. Now, those out there that don't want to pay attention, when everything comes, the event, there's going to be an event. And this event is probably going to be something that's going to be divine. It's going to come through in nature. And it's going to be a bit of disclosure at the same time. They are in for the shock of their lives. If you are like me, you're a truth seeker, you're probably well aware of at least 0.25% of what's been going on. And I don't want to be a downer tonight. I'm not going to be a downer because we're going to get into a guided meditation. I'm going to speak about Archangel Michael. But I sense as though it's my place to be saying, wake up. Because when I was not feeling well the last few days, what was I watching? I was watching a lot of these other YouTubers and those on Rumble, because they can't put on YouTube because they get taken off. And I was hearing about some stuff that I found pretty fascinating. And I'm going to share some of that with you in a little bit. So we are known as, you and I, the victims of these con men that we've kind of been growing up around. And they come in the form of anyone who's in a position of power. I don't like to use the word entitled, but those that are more privileged, more pretentious, and they're just, oh, I'm so fantastic. Because look at all the wealth that I have, and look at how I dress, and oh, serve me, serve me. Those people, those that you know out there. They're not really like the regular Joe like you and I are. I'm not like that. I'm a regular Joe. I'm normal. I'm average. I don't consider myself fantastic. I think I'm okay. Okay, so we are known as the marks, the suckers, the stooges, the mugs. So a con artist, and we should really become more acquainted with these words, because we're just going to say con artist, or we're going to say crook, hustler, swindler, cheater. And I'm speaking about those that are in power, because they are all part of this little club. And let me tell you, anyone who's become in a position of power right now is part of the club. Don't be fooled. They are con men. They are actors. Now, are they the principals? No, heck no, they're not. There are those above them. There's different levels. And guess what? Those at the very, very top, tippy top, have no concern for anyone below them. They don't even care about the con men. They don't care about us, for instance, because they're willing to sacrifice anything for whatever they want. Anything. Any being. Life. They don't care. So victims like you and I, we've been victims. And I know this sounds like a downer, like I said, but I'm going to get on to the good stuff. But let's just be more okay with hearing this. Because were we fooled? Have we been fooled? Yes. Have I been fooled? Yes. But now that I'm not, now that I'm aware, I can no longer pretend anymore. I can't pull the covers over my eyes. I can't. I have to admit, and I have to own it. And I have to suck it up and say, I was conned. So victims like us people that are injured or harmed or killed as a result of a crime, accident, or event or action. We've been tricked, we've been duped. We are the victim of many, many hoaxes. Hey, Ian, long time to see. How are you? Good to see you, Ian. Thanks for joining us from Liverpool. Hello. I'm coming from New York. It's great you're here. And guess what? Look at this. The time change. Do we even know what time it really is or what day in the Matrix? I'm kind of tired of saying the Matrix, but today is Friday in the Matrix work week. And so this is what's interesting. When I did some research, how's New York? New York is fantastic. Here I am in New York, fantastic. This is what's very interesting. When I looked up the word victim, do you know what came through? This is scary. A living creature killed as a religious sacrifice. Can you imagine? They're even putting it in the dictionary like that. Sacrificial victim for the ritual festivals, a sacrifice and offering, a scapegoat. Which is so true. And those are those out there that I'm referring to. There have been many sacrifices, and we didn't know. And that's what we're going to kind of find out in disclosure. And it's kind of some really ugly stuff. And we're not going to go deeply down that rabbit hole tonight. But what we are looking towards, the earth is evolving. And so we are going to be able to have what's called free will, really free will, which means no one's going to be in charge of us. There's going to be no leaders. There's going to be no leaders. We, the people, are going to decide together. We're going to have a decision together. And that's it. We're not going to have those that lead, because those that have led have used up all their time, all of their chances, and they're done. They're gone. It's over for them. I don't know what's going to happen to them. I don't really care. I'm not wishing ill on anyone, but I know that they're no longer going to be holding any kind of control. We're not going to be enslaved anymore. We're going to know about our DNA. We're going to be aware that we have advanced abilities within us. And our DNA, our blueprint, our authentic blueprint within all of us, our vessel, our being, our spirit, we're going to realize that we're going to be able to connect to each other on a higher consciousness and connect to advanced technologies. And there's going to be what's called free energy. And we're going to be all dealing on a level of compassion and love. And that's the good news. That's the good news. So Earth's evolving. Now we know that Earth has been stolen in the past by dark forces, whether you believe that it's an off-planet situation, an AI, reptilians deposited below the ground of the Vatican. I heard that. I don't know if you've heard that. This sounds like, oh my gosh, she's really getting into some fairy tales tonight, isn't she? I don't know. This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing all of this. And when I tell you some situations about this Space Force, which I knew nothing about, which is a real thing, you can look it up yourself, you'll say, well, I didn't know about this, because we're not seeing it on the mainstream media. We're not seeing it on the paid programming. They're kind of only putting on there with their cult stuff, their secret societies, their cult, and their con men stories. So that's all, like, basically I've kind of divided myself now. I go work in the Matrix, and I'm dealing in this dense energies, and I'm, working in this store. And then my off time, I'm focusing on this other higher consciousness. So the Earth has evolved. So have they bred with humans running? Have they been running info through an AI, or are they? Now, this AI, artificial intelligence, is basically this machine, this computer, this advanced technology. And we know that BlackRock has one, this very successful financial firm, BlackRock, that owns many of the stocks out there, or they are acquainted with a lot of these financial entities. We've heard that Elon Musk talks about an AI. And now I'm hearing there's been an AI off planet. And there's basically this AI that's highly equipped. Now, it can be used in a bad way or it can be used in a good way. And there's going to be this AI that runs our financial system. And all of this sounds like a fairy tale. It sounds really strange because our minds are basically still in the matrix. But if you jump out of the matrix and you start to think possibilities, anything's possible. This is all possible. What has been going on? So for thousands of years, there's been a race that's been enslaving us. Now, I don't know exactly, was it the Anunnaki? Was it reptilians? Was it an AI? Was it some other race? Was it many races? I'm not quite sure. But there have been crimes against humanity. And they've been trying to, or they have been utilizing our DNA. How? Well, they've been enslaving us. They've been using us to keep this everything running. And if you look outside and you go out into nature, you say, you can see it everywhere. You can see that we've been enslaved. People are running around. You know, nobody's going around saying, oh my gosh, I had a great time, fun all week long. Is everyone saying I'm happy, happy, happy? No, they're saying happiness is basically when I take a vacation or on the weekends. Most of the time, I would say more than 80% of people are not saying they enjoy their job in the matrix. They'd rather be doing something else. That's not the world we've been supposed to be living in. We have a choice. That's a belief system that we have been guided into, and we've stayed in it because we're scared. Like, what's on the other side of that? There can't be something else. Oh, I don't want to look. Fear. Fear has kept us trapped. So we want to get out of that fear. We want to realize that we have a choice. We have a choice to have another belief system. The more that we think this way, the more that we don't keep ourselves with this closed off, like we're a horse in Central Park with the blinders on, or a chicken in a stall being waited till they either pop out eggs or they're butchered to go out into our grocery stores. Get it? We are basically been enslaved and trapped in this simulation. And we've been used for our DNA. We've been used for our energy. If you go out into the matrix, out into the physical reality, unless you're in like a beautiful place like maybe Arizona or Montana or Utah, where it's not as dense, you go into our cities, do you see how many trees do you see? How much wildlife do you see? Do you see garbage in our waters? If you go to a beach, what do you see floating up? You see all kinds of junk. What's in our foods? This is because we've been enslaved, and we think this is the only way to be. We can make a decision, and it's not about an electric car. It's not about a digital ID in our brain. It's about us being free and knowing our worth. You are worthy. You are worthy. You don't have to do anything. You should just wake up and say, I'm happy today, and I'm going to choose to do that. That's what's free will. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be having love in your heart. You're not supposed to be suffering. You're not supposed to be human trafficked or murdered on your street or a victim of a crime. You're supposed to be basically gliding through your life and living hundreds of years. That's what's supposed to be going on. False evidence appearing real fear. It's inspiring thinking of life beyond. Yes, exactly. We are going to that world. That is where we are going. It is a belief system. That's all it is. Your thoughts are so powerful. You can manifest anything you want. You just have to tap in. That's why we're going to do this long guided meditation. I'm going to keep going because I have so much to cover tonight and I missed so much. So this is probably going to be an extra long video tonight. And if you want to stick around for the whole thing, blessings to you. You can look at the replay if you don't. But I'm going to get through everything I planned because it's important. So the new earth basically is depositing evil into oblivion. Where they go, I don't care. And you know what? It's not about me I don't think that I am righteous about like, oh, they have to get their karmic due, their karmic debt, or they have to be punished. I don't care. I just want to focus on me. And I want to focus on you and tell you how you should have gratitude and you should love yourself and you're worthy being. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what you have, doesn't matter what you look like, and it doesn't matter where you live, because you are a worthy being right now in this moment. In this moment, let's have gratitude. So the evil players are being revealed. Now, maybe it's the white hats in the military, they say. I don't know. And I'm going to share with you, interestingly enough, I heard about, maybe you've heard, maybe I'm just behind the 8 ball here. Maybe I'm been focused in other directions, but I heard of this thing called the Space Force. Have you? And I don't know, maybe it was on the news. I don't watch the news. But the Space Force was created in 2019 because Donald Trump signed this $738 billion defense bill. And they created the Space Force, and it's part of the military. Have you heard of this? What exactly is Space Force? It sounds like a sci-fi movie. It sounds like a television show. And boy, there is a show called the Space Force. So what is it exactly? It's an arm of it's a branch of the armed services. Go figure. It's called U.S. Space Force, and they are protecting the country and the freedom to operate in space. In space. So what exactly could that mean? They're operating in space, which means do we already have a military in space? Does this sound like another fairy tale? Kind of, sort of, but I went down this rabbit hole because I said, this is literally in Wikipedia. This is literally, there's a site. This is literally where they are talking about, there's 8,600 active guardians. And who are they? They're looking for guardians right now in aerospace technology and engineering. They're to access space capabilities. It is acquisitions to lead diverse teams to ensure delivery of our nation's the most advanced space and defense capabilities. So is there Space Force out there that we didn't know about, or they've put it right there, but we are not paying attention? From satellite systems to the top of the communication equipment. So it's military space power. They're there, a military space power. So it's a force. So here I am in the past I'm going to speak about Mothership Jerusalem. I've spoke about Ashtar. And literally, is Ashtar communicating already with the military? And Ashtar has sent me light codes, and I've seen Ashtar, Commander Ashtar. So and I said, unless I see this with my own eyes, I don't believe it. And even if it is a lucid dream, even if it is in my mind, what's going on here? Well, is this a real thing now? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Hey, Bob Harden, check out Space Force unit patches. Wow, full of symbolism. And so there are 6 bases. There are 200 plus space launches. So the U.S. Space Force is a military service that organizes and trains equipped space forces in order to protect U.S. and allied interests in space. Now, do we already have a space base on Mars? Now, the budget for 2024, this gives you an idea of how much money they're putting into this, $3.9 billion. So in 2019, Trump signed a defense bill for $738 billion. And now the budget for 2024 is $3.9 billion. Well, here we go. So this is where the world is going. Now, this is the divide that I have now. The divide is, it's no longer about the physical reality. It's no longer about linear time. It's no longer about working in the matrix. It is going to be this world which involves space, higher consciousness, higher vibration, free will, and moments that we are receiving information telepathically. So go figure. It's very, very interesting, isn't it? I'm going to get into the mothership, but first I want to mention Archangel Michael, because that came through to me many times. Now, why am I speaking about these topics? I have one after another topics that came through, and I said, I can't force this. I have to wait till I'm really enthusiastic and I'm ready to do this again. And because I didn't feel well, I literally just laid on my pillow and watched some videos, and then it came through to me. And I was really trying to force it. And I think I was going through a transition and I was evolving, and maybe you are too. And what does that mean? It's really hard to describe unless you're going through it. You're probably evolving if you're here with me right now. And what does that mean? Well, it's very difficult. Why? Because on a daily basis, we are going into a grocery store and then we're seeing people with this on, or we are standing in a line and we're looking around and everything is related to paying a bill, or, this whole exchange of money or a card or our responsibilities. And, if you look around, there's a lot of people that look really unhappy and sad because they're broken. And that's the world we've been living in, a broken world. But that's the old earth. That is the old earth. And we are going to this beautiful place. And I say that we're going to come out of our homes and hug one another. And we are going to be communicating, and we are going to evolve like this. There's going to be a day or more that there's going to be this huge, shocking, I hate to use the word time, moment that everything is kind of going to stand still. And I know that's coming, and I'm going to share that with you. And why is it going to be shocking? Because we were not going to believe it's actually happening. Everything is going to floor us, even us, the awakened ones, the first timeline arrivals, the first wave of volunteers, the starseeds and the light workers. We are going to be shocked as well, because we are going to not be able to probably wrap our brains around it, because it's going to be emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And there's going to be those that are in crisis. And we're probably going to have to look out for ourselves first. Like they say, when you're on a plane, they say, put the oxygen mask around yourself first and then help others. And it's the same when you say you must have love in your heart for yourself before you can share love with others. It's going to be the same when this shocking moment comes. And I've been having little mini panic attacks in the last 2 weeks. And I really couldn't put my finger on it. And I know it's because of all the energies and these solar flares that are coming onto the earth, because it's basically the moments before this solar flash. So when this great big event happens, and maybe it's going to be a solar flash, like the Carrington event. Maybe it's going to be a divine event. Maybe it's going to be more than one thing, and it's just going to kind of glob all together, and change is going to be like this. And then we have to come out of it, which means everything collapses. Everything that we know is no longer there. So we will try to reach out. We will try to put our hand on something, and we won't be able to. But just know that you're going to be okay. Just know that you're going to be okay. Because if you sit there and you start to worry and get fear because of what you see out here, you're not going to be okay. And then you might start to have like physical ailments. Tune inward, like we speak of. Tune inward. Go to your heart. And just know that if you're, just say, I am safe. Have some mantras prepared. Because you're going to come out of it. And then here we are going to be on this new earth. And this, hey, what is, check out the space. I'm not sure if I'm evolving. I pray every day. Of course you are evolving. You're definitely evolving, Craig. We're all evolving. Here we are together. And so I just wanted to say that don't worry, because it's going to be okay. And I think because the disclosure of what we're going to find out has really been going on, that's going to be part of what, it's not only going to be that the old world is going to be gone, it's going to be, we're going to look at it and we're going to break into tears. And we're going to say, how could this have ever happened? How could we have ever not seen this? And we've been duped. And that's where the con men, it's the con men out there that have been duping us. Just know that. Okay, so Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, why am I bringing up Archangel Michael? Because the angels have been present here. They've been present here with us on earth. Whether or not you can see them, they have been here. They have been floating around, flying around, traveling around our globe. And they've been here to direct us, guide us, protect us, and lead us to, I guess, salvation, to our new earth. And they've been warriors for us. And you know, they couldn't do it alone. We have to start to awaken. We've had to awaken because humanity has to figure it out themselves. Why do they say humanity has to figure it out themselves? Because then it'll happen again. Then we will be duped again. We're not going to be duped this time because we are operating on a higher consciousness. So what is that higher consciousness is? We're operating in a place of peace and love. Peace and love and energy and higher frequency and joy. And we are not wishing bad things on others. So Archangel Michael, the book of Revelations said, 7 angels which stand before God, and Archangel Michael is one of them. Now, is this definitely Archangel? This picture here is a symbol of Archangel Michael. Bob spoke about symbolism. This is a symbol of goodness. This is a symbol of protection. This is a symbol of our future. This is a symbol of what's present right now. We can only focus on what's going on right now. We can make a loose plan for the future. We're not going to focus on the past. We're through that already. Let's be in this moment. So let's imagine this Archangel Michael by our sides, protecting us and guiding us. So we say they're non-gender. We say they're non-gender angels. They're beings of light. They're celestial beings. They're benevolent, which means that they are here to protect us. They're here like our best friend. Imagine your best friend, someone who loves you and adores you. That's an angel. That's an angel. They're pure, but they are strong and they are powerful, an archangel. So protector of all humanity, commander of all archangels and legions of heavenly forces known as the legions of light. And this is to bring hope. This is to give us hope. We are going to probably see glimpses of angels in our future. If not, you have already seen them. I've had dreams of angels. Maybe you have as well. You ask for them to come into your world, your life. They will come. They will be there. Archangel Michael will come to you and protect you. So Archangel Michael, as other archangels, dwell in the presence of God and therefore wield great power and spiritual authority. Michael works endlessly against the forces of darkness to bring about peace and harmony to all beings. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are covering Earth Evolve, Archangel Michael, Mothership Jerusalem, and a guided meditation. So the chief of princes is Archangel Michael. Okay, you know, here's another. This might be, here we go. I'll just hold up 2 photos of Archangel Michael. His sword carries a blue flame, and which is a symbol of courage, strength, and protection. Michael's blue light is a symbol of the will of God and carries out the divine will and leads the forces of light against Satan's minions and defeats them all. Now you can say, oh, that's really a bunch of hogwash. There's no such thing as Satan. There's no such thing as good and evil, blah, blah. All you have to do is look out there. Do you know that, can you differentiate between what's good and what's evil? Good is kindness and love, and evil is criminal activity, harm to others, some kind of crime, that's evil. That's evil. For the sake of evil, that's what evil does it for. This is about protection for all. This is about humanity. This is about love. So Archangel Michael is a protector and warrior for humanity, the children of Israel, they say. Michael appears to Moses in the book of Exodus in the figure of the burning bush. Now, also, I don't know if you remember the story of Joan of Arc, and she was greeted by angels. She had visions of angels, and that is how she told the King of England how to proceed through their battles together. And also, Archangel Michael, as a young archangel, appeared to her. Now, a battle, number one, Archangel Michael battles darkness. 2, protects souls from Satan. You can ask Archangel Michael to come into your presence if you sense that you've had psychic attacks, which means that evil is coming after you because you are doing the right thing or testing you. Evil will test till the very end, which means if you're like, should I do that? It's kind of bad, but nothing's going to happen. That is basically evil trying to test you to see if you will be good, if you will be pure. So Archangel Michael protects souls from Satan and guides them away from evil. Number 3, escorts souls of the departed from earth to judgment. There are those that are going to have judgment day. Those that are human are going to have judgment day. Now they say that there is, now this is maybe another, sci-fi sounding story, but I heard that there are those out there that are not all human, that they have DNA from an extraterrestrial, from another species, like legitimately, not just a little bit, but a lot. Now, are they out there in our physical reality? They say that there are. So Archangel Michael battles darkness, protects souls from Satan, assists children at the time of all children at the time of their death, escorts souls of the departed from earth to judgment. Now you can ask Archangel Michael for help. You can say, help me, Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is not bound by time and space limitations. He can, or we don't want to say he, but we say it's a Michael, so we assume that it's a saint, it's a male. He will be there for you. So just know that. Just know that. And this is just another reminder of hope and possibilities out there for you. You're not alone. You're not alone. I am here. There's others in our community here and living in the light. And we're here for each other. We will probably all meet one day together. Maybe we're going to meet on the Mothership Jerusalem, and I'm going to get into that. Maybe we're going to meet in a higher consciousness and speak to each other. I don't know, but I know that we're here together in this moment for a reason. And maybe we're to just be a bright, shining star, and I'm in New York, and wherever you are, you're bringing light to that location. Because we basically anchor the earth with our light. Our thoughts are very powerful, so know that. Okay, so the Mothership Jerusalem, what is that? Because we've got to get into this guided meditation. I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to show you a picture. Wait, what is this? What is that? So I just thought, hey, you know what? I wish I could print this out, but my printer wasn't working in my job in the Matrix, so I'm going to have to show you on my phone. So the Mothership Jerusalem, I've shown in the past pictures like this. Here is a spaceship. That's probably like an average size spaceship, or what we kind of deem to be what a spaceship looks like, right? Here's one in the distance. We say, oh, there's a spaceship. But this Mothership Jerusalem, a mothership, so it's like, and I'm going to describe it. what is going to happen? A higher consciousness will come from the divine. Individuals surrounded by a lot of negative energy will experience 5 to 10 minutes of sickness from intense energies, then calming energy. So we are all going to encounter this. When higher consciousness comes from the, oh, I got pain in my head saying this. Interesting. Right here. Why did I get pain in my head? Awesome. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Again, a higher consciousness will come from the divine. Individuals surrounded by a lot of negative energy will experience 5 to 15 minutes of sickness from intense energies, then calming energy. So we are probably going to experience this, not necessarily at the same time, but we will experience this new energy, and it will start to have an effect on our physical being, as well as all of us. And it's going to take time for us to take it in. And this mothership, let me show you some photos. So here we go. Here's what it looks like, allegedly. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see. So the mothership, they say, is Mothership Jerusalem is stationed in front of the planet Venus. So Lord Ashtar, and this is Lord Ashtar that I've mentioned before. This is Lord Ashtar, if you can see him. Lord Ashtar said, everyone up here, now if I hold it like that, everyone up here on our ship is viewing what has been and is happening on New Earth Gaia. We assure you that you shall be running on the water in your dimensional consciousness, doing wondrous things, and you will consider that are not possible. And that's what I believe is going to happen for us. I believe praying the light around you to be going through some, praying light around Mary and you seem to be going through some energy. Yes, I am going through some energy. That's true. And it's not bad though. It's good. I'm on the other side of it. Okay, so here is, I don't know why this didn't turn, because let me go like this and see where it is, because I want to show you this picture here. Oh, here it is. So here's a diagram of the mothership. Anyone who's joining us, I hope you like the video and subscribe. Can you see that? Can you see that picture right there? If I blow it up, there's the other picture. So here's the levels of the mothership. It's a huge vessel like a big city. It glows and it's considered alive, like the earth is alive. And it's organic and 1 million years old, okay? So here are all the different levels. So Revelation said, chapter 21, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven. So this basically is associating this mothership Jerusalem with God. And I know that sounds confusing if you're from a background like I am, and I was born and raised Roman Catholic. And so it's a little confusing. However, I'm also a little confused by what's been going on in the Vatican. Is there gold under the Vatican? Are there tunnels under the Vatican? And that Pope, that nonsense Pope up there, and the Queen of England, all of these con men, I should say. I don't know what to believe anymore, but I do have Christ consciousness within me. I believe in goodness and light. So here we go. I'll hold this up again some more. So New Jerusalem is the largest of the inns of heaven, a floating etheric, and etheric means relating to the heavens or spiritual world or plane of existence, housing the headquarters, Lord Ashtar of the Ashtar Command. I have another picture of the Ashtar Command, a pearly white space city, 2,000 miles in length and 2,000 miles in width, one of 10 mother ships. This is what I'm reading. Stationed above Earth, sometimes monitors Earth, preparing Earth's energy grid for the first contact disclosure. Now, what is that going to be, the first contact disclosure? When we actually meet and are greeted, Well, I don't think that they're going to come down from the mothership until more of humanity is awakened, which is happening right now. And because all of the systems are collapsing, it's going to be more possible, because they're not going to come down until we're ready. It's going to be too shocking. I had a vision today, this afternoon, when I got home from my job in the Matrix, about them coming down and what would be my response if one of these beings, one of these like this, showed up. And I guess for 1 second I go up and then I'd say, hi, how are you? What can I do for you? So we are now about to embark on this new earth together. And I'm just bringing out information, sharing topics that I think are helpful. And that's all I'm here for, really. That's my job. That's my mission. Now, before we get into the guided meditation, because we're going to do the guided meditation about 1 minute, and that's going to kind of take the place of psychic phenomenon, because it is psychic phenomenon. It is going to help you, a guided meditation. I just want to remind you about all of Earth right now, all of nature, and spending time. Maybe if you have time this weekend, I know we're so busy. And I am so sad. In the last few weeks, I've been so busy. I haven't been able to spend any time in nature. So tomorrow I will. I have 2 interviews coming up tomorrow, and you're going to see them premiering, one tomorrow and one on Sunday. And I'm excited. I have tomorrow, you're going to see Michael Edley, and he is a medium, and he has a school in New Jersey. And I've known him for 8 years. And he's a psychic medium, and he is from a family of gypsies, Romanians. And he's a very nice guy. If you have any kind of reading you want me to ask him about, put your name in the chat and I will ask him. I'll write it down right now. I'll get a pen and paper. You tell me if there's anybody who wants to have him do a reading on you, please. I know we had Bob Harding and I think Craig last time. Anyone else this time who's joining us? If you want Michael Edley to do a little reading for you, I need to know your real name. You can send me a message if you want, and you don't want it to be in the chat, your real name and where you're located, and he will do a little reading on you. And then on Sunday, I have the premiere of Estrella, and she is a priestess. And I have known, my goodness, I've known her for 12 years, I want to say, very long, maybe longer than that. And she's a wonderful being, and she's coming from Hawaii. Michael Edley's coming from New Jersey. So that's what I have going on. And was there anything else I needed to tell you? And then I have next weekend, I have Peter Hansen, who is a angelic channeler. So I'm always interested in your interviews. Thanks. Anyone who's joining us, I hope I'm up for that, please. What time of day is that? Probably I'm going to be premiering it late afternoon, early evening tomorrow, because what happens is we do the interview and then it has to go through editing, and then YouTube has to okay and process everything. And so sometimes it takes like 5 hours. So I'm just thinking it's going to be the one tomorrow is going to be late afternoon, early evening. And so that's what I have going on. So let's do the guided meditation. What is a guided meditation? What is a guided meditation? It is basically something that is going to benefit you by giving you deeper relaxation, lower blood pressure, improve blood circulation. And a guided meditation is relaxing you. It's guided imagery, and it is a visualization. So I'm going to guide you through this. So you're going to close your eyes. So give me 1 second to prepare for this. So hold on, everyone. Just have to prepare for this. And then we are going to do this guided meditation, which is so exciting. Okie dokie. Hold on, everyone. One second, everyone. 1 second. We're going to do this guided meditation. So now when I've done these guided meditations, I've been doing them for my job in the Matrix. They basically last for 50 minutes. I don't think this is going to last for 50 minutes because it's that's a long time. We're going to probably say that this is going to last for 30 minutes, I would say. So prepare yourself for that. I don't know. I'm not going to time it. I'm just going to go through it. Craig Adams' full name. Okay, Craig. All right, everyone. So here we go. Okay. This is kind of perfect timing because usually we are doing psychic phenomenon. So what I would like to do, here we go. I would like everyone to get, now you don't have to be sitting up for this, everyone to get into a comfortable position, sit or lay down comfortably. I suggest closing your eyes. And we are going to release tension in our body. Right now, everyone who's joining us, we're doing a guided meditation. It's probably, I'm not sure, it's going to probably be 20 minutes around that. So this is going to help you. This is going to be beneficial. All right, so we're relaxing. We're closing our eyes. We're getting into a comfortable position. And we're going to start by releasing tension in our body. And that means that we are going to start focusing on different body parts. And so let's start with our feet. Let's start going to our feet, maybe wiggling our toes, moving our legs around, our ankles, and then pausing and testing and saying, do I feel as though I'm letting go of any holding up? We don't want to be holding up or controlling any body parts right now. So we're relaxing our feet, we're wiggling our toes. And then we're just making sure there's no tension in our legs, below our knees. Just relax. And it might be to your benefit to be, like I said, laying down so that you can really feel this and you can really get really, really relaxed. So you're going to just maybe move your leg around, make sure you take away any tension, just dropping down all of our control and energy. We're letting go of any kind of control that we have in our legs right now and our thighs. And so we're just letting go of any tension. Now you want to focus on your waist. Maybe move around a little bit and just, am I tense in my waist? Am I holding everything up? Go to your chest area. Let go of any tension. Dropping down, letting go. And your arms, your hands. Maybe wiggle your fingers a little bit. Relax your fingers. Relax your hands. Open and close your hands. And your arms. And your shoulders. You're letting go. Any tension in your shoulders. And your neck. You're letting go of any tension in your neck. Maybe wiggle your head around a little bit. Move it from side to side. And then let out a breath. And now I'd like you to focus on, now that you're testing, you know that all your body parts are relaxed. I'd like you to just focus on your breath. And we're going to do this for a moment, for about a minute. I'm going to be quiet and we're going to just focus on our breath. We're focusing on our breath. So we're inhaling. And we're exhaling. And I just would like you to do that for a minute alone. I'm going to stop talking because we're just going to be in complete relaxation. We're trying to get deeply more within our being, our vessel. And we're just completely breathing. Okay, so now I'm hoping that you're breathing slowly, natural breath. You have complete relaxation throughout your body. And you're really not thinking about anything. You're pushing away and letting go of any thoughts. And I'd like you to just try to focus on your breath. And if your thoughts distract you, come back to focusing on your breathing. So it's just your breathing you're focused on. And I'm going to begin the guided meditation. Okay. All right. Your eyes are closed, you're relaxed, you're focused on your breath, and you see a violet glass staircase before you. And this violet glass staircase is mysterious. You're not quite sure where this staircase will lead. You look up. At the very top of the staircase, you see a door. Now, around this staircase, you realize there's nothing else that exists. It's just you standing at the very bottom of this violet staircase. And again, you look up at the door, and as you look up at the door, you realize that there is a keyhole. And from this keyhole, you can see an orange, yellow, golden light. It's traveling, it's streaming through this keyhole. And so now you're curious. And you look up and you say, that's a very mighty, tall, violet staircase made of glass. But I'm so curious. I'm going to go right up to that keyhole and see what's on the other side of the door. And so you begin to take a step. And your first step up this glass staircase, your foot feels so very heavy. It's like your foot is a brick. But you look back up and you see this streaming golden light coming from the keyhole, and you say, I'm going to keep going. And you take another step up this glass violet staircase. And again, your other foot hits the staircase, the step, and it feels very heavy as well. You almost sense that you're suffering with each step that you take. You're not running, you can't run, because each time you take a step, it's like you have a heavy stone, a brick, cement on your foot. You pause and you look up and you decide, is this worth it? Because every time I take a step, it's like a burden for me and it feels so heavy. You take another step, and as you take that step, you remember your struggles. You remember all of your pain in your life. But you look down through the glass of this violet staircase and you see darkness, utter darkness. It's like a black, black hole beneath you. You take another step and you remember your responsibilities. And then another step, the letdowns. So each memory, each step is one of your hardships. You continue up the staircase. You're halfway up and you get a little bit more excited because you're almost there. At least you're halfway. You take a break, you pause, and you begin again. Another step, another struggle, more pain. It's coming out of you. It's a little emotional. In fact, it's a lot emotional. You're one step away from the door on the violet staircase. And now you realize that there are streams of illuminating golden yellow orange light, not only coming from the keyhole, but from the bottom of the door. It's seeping out. It's leaking from the bottom of the door. You are curious. What is going on beyond this door? You're about to touch the doorknob. You're pulling back, feeling tired, worn out already. You haven't even gone through the door. Would you like to know what's on the other side of the door? Before you can even answer that question, the door slowly opens, all on its own, and you begin peeking inside. And you see a magnificent scene of colors, green grass, a magnificent multi-dimensional scene of nature releasing vibrations, orange, red, yellow. You step forward. The golden light beams on you, the sun rising before you in the distance. And now you feel warmth. And it covers you. It covers you from the bottom of your feet, from your feet, all the way to the top of your head, your crown chakra. You start to walk forward because you see a stone path. And this stone path is leading to the sun rising. You slowly take steps onto the stone path, and then you notice a waterfall cascading into a small pond. You just step off the stone path, and you walk over to this little pond with a waterfall of cascading water, refreshing. As you get over to this little pond, you have this incentive to dip your toes in the pond. But as you get to the pond, you look down at your reflection and you start searching. And what do you see looking up at you? A child. Who is this? And you look around. Who is this child? You're so confused. Who is this? You're startled, but you're pleased. You begin to remember the past. Closely searching the water as it's rippling and subtly moving. Is this child you? A younger version of you? The same eyes? The same hair? The same expressions? The same height? The child waves at you. The child smiles at you. You blurt out words to the child. You take your shoes off. And now you start to recognize the wonderment of your youth, the joy and love in this version of yourself. You travel back in your mind to the best day you ever had under the age of 6 or 7. Where were you? Your mind wanders. You see the location, the circumstance, how you emotionally felt happy. What was your story? And as these memories, or this memory, floods back to you, you begin to feel physically happier. You have less weight on you. And an energy touches your heart. It zaps you. In fact, internally, you're starting to feel as though you're calmer, you're more at peace. You recognize a part of you that you had forgotten you had within you. A beautiful part of you, in fact. The childlike energy that you had for your youth before anything bad ever happened to you. It touches you. It touches your heart. This energy is now present. It spreads across your chest, the deepest part of your inner being. You begin to feel more like yourself. Someone you've forgotten that was within you. You look down at the reflection and the child starts to dance. The child in the pond, the child version of you begin to dance, throwing up your hands, jumping in the air, smile wide across their face. It's contagious. Playful emotions begin to take over. You start moving, you start shaking, and you begin to dance too. You laugh, you're playful, and you sense all your dreams are possible. Every great idea you ever had is present now. It's like you can touch it, you can see it, it's right there. It's floating before you. Every great idea you ever had is here with you. And anything blocking you, blocking your connection to you, has gone. The child takes over part of you again, making you whole, stepping into the water. You step into the water and you continue to dance. It feels refreshing on your feet. It feels cold and inviting. And you look around, you look back for your reflection. The child is no longer there. The child is now a part of you. The two of you have joined. You have a feeling of calmness, knowing, and safety within you. You have more belief and trust within you and self-confidence. All of the parts of you that had left are now within you. You are whole again. You have no worry. You have no fear. You are no longer distracted by the outside world or others or their concerns. The child has awakened your spirit. Now suddenly, you realize that the sun is there in the distance. You step out of the water and you grab your shoes and you get back on your stone path. And as you're walking towards the sun rising, you feel so much. The light is present on your skin and in your heart. The oranges and the yellows and the reds, all the bursts of color cover you physically. Now, each step you take on the stone path, you're more of the child. More of you becomes evident. The memories of your life tumble into the present. You've released all the compartments held within you. And you begin to discover more emotions, sensing a stronger, wiser version of you. And you know now nothing can stop you. You continue to travel on the stone path. And as you travel on the stone path, you look around and sparks of light drop from the sky. Now each allowing a burst of light to touch you. Each spark of light is bright, it's glimmering, it's illuminating. And each spark of light, as it touches you, you see deeper within yourself. All of a sudden, knowledge about the world surrounding you. Finally, you're coming face to face with the sunrise. You're standing before the sunrise, almost as though your cheek is hitting the sun. You allow the glimmer of vibrations to transform you. You're standing quietly, brave and strong with the enormous sun, face to face. The orange, the yellows, the reds, the power, the strength, the confidence is all within you. You have a belief beyond anything you ever imagined. You're capable of anything. You again sense your feet are bare, and the glowing warmth of the sun touches your skin. You pause to reflect on this moment. And you turn around and you look for the door and you head back on the stone path. And now you feel lighter. You feel like you're floating, almost as though your feet aren't even touching the ground. You pass the pond with the cascading waterfall, and you remember seeing your reflection that is now part of you. And you see the door. It's ahead of you. A few more steps and you're going to be at the door. The sky looks a lot bluer. The grass looks a lot greener. And you know you have so much ahead of you. And you reach the door, but this time the door does not open on its own. You must open the door yourself. You don't know what's on the other side of the door. but you don't pause. You grab the doorknob and you open the door. Now, what's on the other side of that door? That's entirely up to you, and that should tell you so much about where you're headed. And maybe it's something that you have to go through. Maybe it's something that you already experienced. Maybe it's something ahead of you. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute as you peacefully focus on your breath. Okay, so what I would like you to do is I'd like you to start to remember your legs. Start to remember your knees, your physical being, your thighs, your waist, your chest. Focus on your torso, your heart, your arms, your neck, your head, your eyes, and your nose, and your mouth, and your ears. You can stay here before you gradually return to the room that you're in. And I'm going to count backwards to 1, and you open your eyes. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was my guided meditation, and that was with guided imagery, and I hope that you discovered something about yourself or a direction you would like to take. I hope it gave you some kind of information that you were looking for. And I'm wishing everyone well, and I'm so grateful that we had this time together today, this moment together. And I'm going to spin light, and you're in the center of it, and you're making a wish. And I'm sending you light. Let me just see the light. So I'm putting you here. And so I'm spinning light around you, and you're in the center of it. And I hope everyone has a good evening and a good weekend, and you're in the middle. I hope you liked the video and subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to remind you, tomorrow I will have the interviews. Tomorrow I'll have the interview with Michael Edley, a medium. And Sunday I'll have the interview with Estrella, who's a priestess. So everyone be well. Thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you so much. And anyone else anyone else besides Craig wants Michael Edley to do a little reading on him, let me know. Put it in the chat or send me a message. I think tomorrow the interview's at noon, so it's going to have to be before then. Okay, and I'll be uploading it as soon as I can, just late afternoon, early evening. So everyone be well. Bye.